Hello, my name is Evelyn Stokes and welcome to the I Eat Super video blog, where we share healthy tips on healthy eating and cooking and want to inspire everyone to live a healthy life. Our first recipe today is a sweet corn, cream corn, without the heavy fatty cream. Our ingredients include a nice ear of fresh corn, I almost dropped it there, a little pinch of salt, a bit of agave nectar, and the best part is roasted garlic, 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, and some delicious cashews, which are going to make up our cream. So what we start with is we have a few fresh ears of corn, and just to kind of teach you how to do this, you really kind of want to take charge of this corn and kind of cut down the ear this way with a sharp knife. It makes a little bit of a mess, but it's worth it to do it with fresh corn as opposed to the canned corn. And one tip with fresh corn is you want to kind of take the back of the knife once you cut it down and do a quick scrape to get the rest of the juice in the milk, and that kind of adds to the cream. And the awesome thing about corn is that it is a whole grain and it has a lot of fiber content, which is good for helping to regulate heart disease and lower cholesterol levels. Corn has a lot of excellent nutritional benefits. So what I want to do next is measure out about a tablespoon of oil, heat that up on the stove, because what we're going to do, we're not going to fry this corn, but we're going to warm it through a bit with the oil and allow it to kind of start cooking. And then we're going to talk about ways to steam the corn and cook the corn without deep frying it like the regular cream corn recipe goes for. So let me go with that. So while we're waiting on that, I already have about 4 ears of corn reserved to the side here. And let's start on our delicious cashew cream. Now this is a taste de resistance because I've soaked 1 cup of cashews overnight. You can see it's kind of like pliable, kind of bends a little bit. Real easy recipe. And I'll tell you a little bit of a story about this recipe. I was up north, I live in Michigan, and I was up north a few weeks ago. And when you go up north, if you ever vacation up north, it's very beautiful in northern Michigan. And what we have, agave nectar, what they have is all these stands that talk about fresh blueberries or fresh corn. And as we were driving down the road, I saw a stand that talked about garlic corn. And we didn't stop, but that started me thinking, garlic corn, how do they possibly prepare garlic corn? So that's how I came up with my own recipe here. This is my version of garlic cream corn. This is the nutmeg. Essentially, I want to make a healthy version of cream with garlic. What I've done is I've roasted an entire bulb of garlic, and what you do to roast it, you simply take the entire bulb, don't peel it, pour a little bit of olive oil over it, and just stick it in the oven at about 350 to 400 for about maybe 40 minutes. So I'm going to put at least, this is a 4 teaspoons, so I want to put at least a whole teaspoon, half to a whole teaspoon in there. This is going to make my delicious cream sauce. All right, and let's see, a half cup of water and a pinch of salt. Lovely. Okay. And cashews are huge, are high in monosaturated fats, which are excellent for heart health and regulating heart disease. So let that sit to the side, and my pan should be heated now. Let me get a wood spoon out. Just want to heat this through a bit. Kind of saute that around a bit. Let that heat through. So now I'm just lightly warming my corn through. And corn, I love corn. Sweet corn, natural corn is very sweet, very fragrant. It only takes a second to cut off the kernel, so why not get the fresh stuff? And corn contains several forms of vitamin B, which for several reasons are good for heart health. And also it contains phosphorus and manganese, which is helpful for bone health. So corn is a whole grain. You just have to moderate it, your corn intake. Now, corn alone, 1 cup of corn, 1 serving of corn is 177 calories. So with the addition of my cream, cashew, and my corn, I would say the serving for this is about 1/3 to about 1/2 cup to regulate your calories, but you still want to, make this for a family function or something. This will be a hit, and you won't have all the heavy fatty cream in there. So this is slowly warming through. This is not on a high heat, and I just want to kind of let the corn cook maybe 5 to 10 minutes. You don't have to cook it forever. Traditional recipes require that you cook it for 35 minutes and really put a lot of grease and butter in it. This is very naturally creamy. So not only have I reserved the milk and the cream from the natural corn kernels, but I'm adding my own natural form of cream, which is an excellent source of monounsaturated fats, which are excellent, which are essentially the good health. Those cashews, nuts are the good health because they contain omega-3s and monounsaturated fats. So this takes about 5 to 10 minutes to warm through, and if I put a little bit of olive oil, and if it gets where it's getting too hot or you feel like it's burning, because olive oil tends to burn a little bit, just add a little bit of water and let it steam through, so you retain a lot of the nutrients in the corn, but you don't lose a lot of the flavor and you don't lose a lot of nutrients as you would, say, if you boiled it. Garlic has sulfur in it. It cannot hurt. That's excellent for regulating cholesterol. Garlic and onions should be essential to everything you eat. So let me try to puree this a little bit more. We almost have the texture. So I'll put a little bit of water in here just to keep that going well. Not too much. See the steam coming up there? That means it's going to cook the corn through for me a bit here. All right, that looks delicious. Let me give it one more taste with my clean tasting spoon. That's really good. That's really tasty. You don't need the heavy fat cream. Now, when you're removing the jar or the cup from the food processor, remember to lift the blade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to this right now to let it begin to warm through with the extra cream in it. Maybe I'll kind of put a little bit in at a time. See how much exactly I really need. Probably could use the entire amount here. It smells like nutmeg, fresh garlic, and the cashews. I had to puree them a little bit longer because you really want the creamiest texture you can get, and I can start to see how this is resembling actual cream corn, traditional cream corn. And then the nutmeg, some of the flakes from the nutmeg gives it a little bit of color and texture. And I guess this is my version of garlic corn. I have no idea what they meant at that fruit stand up north, but this is my version of garlic corn. And that looks really good. I'm just going to throw all of this in here. This can go into like a casserole dish for a family function. Have it ready for a big party or something. It's an excellent side dish to a lean piece of steak or grilled chicken. This looks really good, and I'm going to allow this to warm through as I kind of constantly stir it here. Looks really yummy. And I could have pureed some of this corn too to add to some of the creaminess if I wanted to. So now let's taste our delicious healthy cream corn. So I want to get myself one quick serving here. This is delicious. It's piping hot and it smells very fragrant, like nutmeg and cashews and roasted garlic. Put a little bit of parsley on top there. Get one of my tasting spoons here. Let's see, taste de resistance. That's really good. It's naturally sweet. And so you get the crunchiness from the natural corn that I just cut from the cob. The creaminess of the cashews and the sweetness of the agave nectar and the hint from the nutmeg and of course the roasted garlic give it the perfect savory sweet balance that you can really put to any occasion, whether it's Thanksgiving or the holiday or Labor Day. This is an excellent version of traditional cream corn. So I'll see you next time on the I Eat Super Cooking and Healthy Tips video blog. Go to ieatsuper.com for more recipes and information.
I Eat Super is being brought to you by Dito's Marketplace in downtown Farmington, where you can find groceries at great prices. Dito's Marketplace, 33021 Grand River Avenue in downtown Farmington.